I like questions. I'm not so good with answers, though. Put that in there. Well, it comes from love, and that's a word that describes something that's a feeling, something that's an emotion, and something that's a force. And after being around for 66 years, I've experienced this force of love, and it seems to be the strongest force, the most prevalent force in the universe. And that's where I draw my inspiration. All light, everything comes from that light, and it breaks down the same. 3 primaries, and the 3 come from the white, and that comes from the clear. So, I don't know. I've seen all these things over 66 years kind of prove themselves over and over when other things fall to the wayside.
Oh, that's good.
Here's one. How would you describe yourself?
I would describe myself as a tragedy. That's how I would describe myself. I can very much relate being raised a white man in the middle class 50s. I can, and from what I've gone through as a musician and an artist, I can really relate to women and black people and other people who don't get the same, I don't want to say opportunities, but aren't treated the same in society. Now, a musician, most musicians I know, and I've heard this my whole life, you got to find something else to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just, the show business and music business and then so on and so forth, it's virtually impossible to make a living at it. And most musicians, most artists do not. They do something else or they forget it completely and just have to learn and do something else.
And they give up on their
Right.
talent.
So I've been through all that through my whole life, starving artist syndrome, stuff like that. And because of my health, I had health problems, that made my life a tragedy. Well, that's because those things are important, but they're not as important as the power of love that has manifested itself in my life. And if it wasn't for that, I probably would have checked out a long time ago. And that's what's important in life. I mean, these other things are important, and how you can support yourself and your dreams, and the talent you have, developing it and bringing it forth to the world, making a living that way. Those are important things. But what's most important is love and mercy. That's more important than anything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's behind all this stuff. It's around all this stuff. I see that it's well, I get there's a lot of analogies you could put. One would be an egg. It's ripe and the egg's cracking, and the new life form is coming out, getting ready to come out, and you see this with the people that have been oppressed over the years by patriarchal bullshit are coming out, and you see that with the women. They're talking about things like that now a lot, that this is the time for women to bring their point of view into the picture much more than before. And that's part of what's bringing about this change. We may have our first woman president and all that stuff, and that's all part of this big change that's taking place right now.
what's coming out of the egg? Do we know yet, or do we? What do you think?
Well, a lot of things. The the men mostly that have taken over and run the show have been doing this all along for thousands of years. They're not going to just give up, and give our assets back and report to prison. They're not going to do that. So it's probably going to get real awful and ugly for years. That's just the way it is. You know, you got, especially with the, you know, these fundamentalist religions, they want to kill each other, and they will. And it's going to tear things up. But the survivors will be able to go on. The authoritarian rulers will not be able to keep going. They're going to wipe each other out. And they won't be able to take over again. They won't be able to get that edge of you know, keeping dominance, you know, through propaganda and lies and just, you know, sheer force. They won't have that anymore.
Yeah.
So after this, we go through this, everything will run smoother, because all the things that have plagued humankind all these centuries, the disease, poverty, war, blah, 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 those things will be greatly reduced. Plus we're going to have greater advancements in medicine and technology and all that to work for our benefit. And all these things will work for us instead of against us.